Welcome to Fat Cloud TV, brought to you by Vaping Cheap. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the brand new Vandy Vape Triple RTA. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Fat Cloud TV, brought to you by Vaping Cheap. In this episode, like I said in the introduction, we'll be looking at the brand new Vandy Vape Triple RTA. This was a collaboration between Vandy Vape and YouTuber Vaping with Twisted 420. It does say it was designed by Vaping with Twisted 420. If you don't know who he is, I'll put a link down in the description to his YouTube channel. He is a big vape YouTuber and probably one of the biggest out there. So definitely I'm happy they collaborated and launched something brand new and different to the market. Vandy Vape is known pretty well now in the vape game for releasing some really good quality products at great prices. They have the Pulse with another YouTuber, and the RTA is probably one of my favorite squawkers up to now. Still, we have a full review on that too. But we're definitely excited to take a look at the new Triple RTA. It's completely different, and you know, we've seen a ton of RTAs coming out this year, but this one is designed for triple coils. Even though you could use it, and I'll show you guys down below. Don't worry about that. You know, you could use it for dual coil builds or triple coil builds. It's a 28mm diameter, which is something we don't see too often. So I'm glad they took that direction. I wanted to go kind of different than what we've been seeing. We've been seeing a lot of 25mm RTAs. So I don't want to talk too much. I really want to go down and show you guys what's this RTA all about. But I do want to thank Vandy Vape for sending this RTA my way for the purposes of this review. Well, not review, first look, but we will have a review later on once I test it a little bit more on the Vaping Cheap website, so be sure to check that out. But anyway, let me not waste any more time and get down below. Alright, so here we are with the Vandy Vape Triple RTA designed by Vaping with Twisted 420. Keep in mind this is the sample packaging, so the retail packaging might be different. I wouldn't doubt it, but honestly, Vandy Vape packaging is always good. Has some warnings and little details in the back. Nothing crazy. Triple RTA, so we're going to go ahead and slide it open. And you're met with the Triple RTA. It comes pre-installed with a Ultim A10 drip tip, a replacement glass tank section, and a Dock A10 drip tip. So I'm going to go ahead and take all this stuff out. Let's see what else we have here. The normal stuff here, O-rings, a 510 drip tip adapter, which is great, a T-tool, and extra screws and stuff. All this, you know, typical stuff you see from any atomizer, really. So anyway, let's get to the start of the show. And just real quick, we've been seeing a lot of this dock tip. It's like a knurled type of drip tip. Let me take it out. You probably saw that in our Vandy Vape Mesh RTA video. I was a big fan of this drip tip, actually. It has a little bit of a shorter profile, it seems like, than the Ultim. Anyway, let's go look at the start of the show. The Vandy Vape Triple RTA. Now, this is one big tank. I mean, remember, it is 28mm diameter. It says sample at the bottom. Has a gold-plated 510 connection. The airflow does stop each way, whether you close it or open it. Very easy to adjust, by the way. Very smooth. It has a top fill design with pretty large ports, if you ask me. You could fit pretty much any e-liquid bottle without no issues. The Ultim A10 drip tip here. Like I said, this is just a first look, and honestly, I haven't even vaped this yet. I actually got it in the mail not too long ago, so I wanted to, you know, for you guys to get my actual first impression of vaping it and let you know what I think. But anyway, so here we are with the build deck. It is a postless build deck. We've seen a lot of postless build decks lately. It's become very popular, and for good reason. It's just easy to build on, and it's just, yeah, easy to build on, really. I mean, that's like the main attraction of the postless build deck. It was kind of like the velocity build deck last year and the year before, where we saw like a ton of atomizers come out with, you know, velocity style build deck. I mean, we still see it today, but I'm sure we're going to see a ton of postal style build decks. But what makes this one different is that it's made for triple coils. Like you see, there's 3 sets of pulse holes here. You have 1, 2, 3, and then you have the airflow sitting right in the center. So the coils will sit right on top of the airflow, so the airflow will hit underneath the coils, which is great. To me, that gives the best flavor. And the wicking ports are pretty large, so I don't think a single coil, even though you could technically do one, would actually fit well in here, or just because of wicking purposes. You know, unless it's a really wide coil. But yeah, dual coils, I can see dual coils for sure. You know, maybe like 3.5 millimeter or something, depending on how it can fit. But yeah, I mean, the build deck looks really easy to build on. The wicking channels kind of remind me a little bit of the Reload RTA, or maybe the Kylan, something like that. But we'll see when I build in the wicket. You have a very, very dome, like this is a massive dome in here. Chimney, which is great for flavor. Now the only thing, you know, that I feel like people won't like right away, it doesn't have juice flow control, which some vapors want. Personally, I never really get leaking without juice flow control. You know, with a ton of RTAs, like for example the Reload RTA, that has no juice flow control, and I've never gotten leaking from it. So, you know, it's just, if that's something you prefer, this doesn't have it, unfortunately. Also, you know, the fact that it's 28 millimeter, some people might not like that. This is gigantic. And I'm pretty sure this holds 4 ml of e-liquid, which is, I mean, for a 28 millimeter tank, it's not like the largest amount, but it's not like terrible. And I think they said there was a 2 ml version, but I assume they're probably going to put like a silicone plug or something in here to drop the e-liquid capacity to 2 ml for you guys who have to follow TPD. But anyway, let me go ahead and put a build in here real quick. I showed you the triple RTA, went over all the details and all the good stuff. Like I said, it's just a first look so you guys can see, you know, what it looks like, how it is, and you know, so far so good. So let me throw a build in here, and I'll see you guys in a few. Alright, so I went ahead and threw a triple fuse Clapton in here. This is 26 gauge nichrome 80 on the inside, and it's wrapped with, I think, 36 or 38 gauge. You can find these coils. I did it the easy way. These are from Lightning Vapes. They're spool of Clapton wire, which is, it works really well. I have this tank sitting on the Lost Vape Triad. It looks good together. You know, this houses fits a bigger atomizer with no problem. But anyway, with wicking, you want to make sure that you're not stuffing the e-juice, the wicking channel, and you don't want to put too little bit. Too little bit will end up leaking. Too much, you're going to have dry hits. Well, I mean, I haven't vaped it yet, but that's the general sense about it. Also, you want to make sure there's like breathing room down here in the wicking ports. Another thing, what I've seen with these type of build decks and wicking channels, you want to make sure the edges here are covered with cotton. You don't want any space, you know, with the wicking channel to have, well, basically you don't want to have any space here. You want it to be covered with cotton because you don't want to have juice flow out through there. You just want to be, you'd rather be safe than sorry when it comes to wicking. You don't want to get into any leaking, and then you gotta, you know, re-wick it or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so I have a triple fuse Clapton in here. It is reading at a 0.13 ohm. I'm going to be wicking this up with some of this stuff right here. Double Comma Vapes, Double Clutch Crunch. This is a really, really good cereal vape. It's a peanut butter crunch cereal with bananas. This did win an award, and we did review this entire line over on the Vapor Cheap website. If you guys are tired of like your normal, typical cereal vapes, man, like Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops or Lemon, whatever, definitely give this one a shot because it's totally different and it's really, really good. Definitely one of our top, in our top 25 juices this year for sure. It's just an excellent overall vape, and it's an 80-20 blend. Anyway, so I'm gonna work this up with some e-liquid real quick. I want to get it nice and saturated before I put the tank section back on and the chimney. So with fuse Claptons, you just want to, you know, pulse a little bit. That is at 77.5 watts. This type of build can probably like handle like 90, 100 watts, no problem. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and finish wicking this up. And I'll see you on top of my first thoughts. Alright, welcome back up top. I'm back with the Vandy Vape Triple RTA with the Lost Vape Triad. Like I said, the build I did came out to 0.12 ohm resistance. It is just, that's something else I wanted to mention, is that with 3 coils, you got to keep in mind that your resistance is going to be a little bit lower, of course, than a normal dual coil build. So just keep that in mind, especially with builds like Fuse Claptons, because you want to make sure you stay in a safe range when you're vaping. Safety is key. So just, if you know what you're doing and all that, that's great. But, for you guys who are a little bit newer, just keep in mind that with 3 coils, your resistance will be a bit lower. But anyway, so I have it loaded up with the Double Comma Vapes Double Clutch Crunch. This is a delicious cereal vape, man. I'm telling you, it's a really, really good cereal vape. So I have it set at 87.5 watts. The airflow is wide open. Now take a vape. And plenty of vapor. Jeez. There's a lot of vapor. It's very saturated, and it's wicking. And I did take a few vapes before I came back, and I already went through almost a quarter tank. So just keep that in mind with a tank like this. This could be seen as a subjective con maybe, but sorry, man. This is a serious cloud chaser tank here, but yeah, you're gonna burn through juice. You're gonna burn through juice. Of course, that's to be expected with 3 coils. If you do a dual coil build, it probably won't be nearly as bad. There is, talking about triple coil RTAs, there is another. You have the Azeroth RTA, but that one, in my opinion, it was just, you didn't have a lot of room, number one. Number two, the screws were really bad on the one I received. It wasn't that great. I mean, it vaped good, but the tank will get a little bit warm because it's much smaller. This, of course, this is 28 millimeter. The Azeroth, I think, was 24 millimeter. The Azeroth RTA by Coil. But anyway, for triple coil builds, I do like this better than any other triple coil RTA that I've vaped on. Primarily the Azeroth. I think they did a great job with the construction, the build quality. That's all really great. I'm going to go ahead and shut the airflow down about halfway. I actually like a little bit more of a restricted vape than a wide open, but wide open you have tons of it. So I'm going to keep it at the same 87.5 watts. I might be actually a little bit too restrictive for this type of coil build. I'm going to do it 3/4 way open now. But that halfway compared to fully open, I mean, you could tell there's a lot more restriction. And, I mean, if you like a restricted vape, like a pretty restricted vape, you'll like that. So let's do 3/4 way open. Yeah. Sorry about that, man. This tank is really producing a ton of vapor. The flavor is really good, actually. Even though it's so big, it has a really domed chimney. I think that's what helps with the flavor. So the flavor is very saturated. Like the vape is very saturated, and you can taste all the flavor notes. Like I vaped a lot of that juice. I vaped at least like 2-3 60 ml bottles of that juice already, so I know what it tastes like, and it tastes pretty much exactly how it would taste in like a dripper. Now I'm not saying it's on dripper level and it's like, oh my god, great flavor, but it's pretty close in regards to the flavor it puts out. It's very good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open it wide open again, but I'm gonna turn up the watts to about 100. So I got 100 watts here on a 0.12 ohm build, and you can see, man, this thing is just wicking. It's just wicking. It's continuously wicking, which is great. So, and this tank is almost halfway, and you saw me how many times I took a vape, not even a lot. Much warmer vape. The flavor is really good, but actually, I feel like the flavor is a little bit better at lower wattages with this build. But anyway, the Vandy Vape Triple RTA. My first impressions is that it's a good RTA for you guys who like massive, coils and massive tanks, and you want to vape at like higher wattages. This tank is definitely for you. I am gonna put a few different builds in there. I'm gonna try a dual coil build, see how it performs, and I'm gonna go ahead and post my full review. Probably, I would say like a week, give or take. I just want to throw a couple more builds in there, test out the airflow configuration, see how the airflow differs with dual coil builds versus triple coil builds. I really want to kind of run it through its paces to see how well it performs. I'm not exactly sure when this is being released. I think maybe in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, possibly 3. I know a lot of Chinese companies are going holiday soon, so that might put a halt on any of these products that's coming from China. But anyway, so my thoughts on the Vandy Vape Triple RTA and Vaping with Twisted 420, did his RTA as well, his design. I think it's a great RTA so far. It does guzzle juice, so keep that in mind. It's not for you guys who like very, very restrictive vapes. It's more of like, to me, cloud chasing than anything. It's like, this thing is just a cloud chasing monster in my opinion. With 3 coils and 100 watts, this room is still foggy with like 3 hits. But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comment section. I'll be glad to help you guys and answer any questions or whatever. If you planning on picking this up, let us know why you want it or why you don't want it. But anyway, stay tuned to the next episode of Fat Cloud TV, brought to you by Vaping Cheap. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and keep it cloudy.
Yeah.